bright rainbow thing, then into the mind.
Ready.
Put on the chromavolum. Ooh. Acting on a hunch, you retrieve the chromavolum and place it over your eye. After adjusting to having the creature attached to your face again, you shift your gaze to the orb. The orb appears much as it did before. Slightly disappointed, you decide to leave the creature in place for now. But no. It's the starfish that you put over your eye that changes colors. But they would not, yeah, it didn't even occur to me that it would be tied to this one. But why would have they made a conversation option out of it if it isn't? Okay, let's... Okay. Okay. Front... Okay, we're removal phase. So front removal should be deep violet hue or something like that. Deep violet hue, right. Return front. Bright orange. Bright orange. Move left. Should be lucid red. Lurid red. Okay. Deep violet. The sphere changes to an unusual color that's part violet and part something you have trouble discerning. Okay, so that's different. This should be dull orange. Somewhat like orange, but also substantially different from any color you've seen. Okay. I think it's the duller colors that are something different. But maybe switching the oranges around does help. Okay, this should be blazing orange, I guess. If I do the same thing. The sphere changes to a color unlike any you've ever seen before. In trying to find a way to describe it to yourself, you notice elements of orange, hints of yellow, but by and large it is something beyond your ability to convey. This I thought was between red and orange, so this would basically go between yellow and orange now. Okay. Brilliant blue, that's the same. Should be cool green. Cool green. Yellow. Shining yellow, yes. Indigo. So there's basically 3 changes here. The biggest one is that the blazing orange is not actually blazing orange. So we have to switch things around. What about the inscription? Is that the same? The Crimson Dawn greets the Seeker. Violet Dusk sees the search end. So how exactly do we need to change things? We need to go through the 10 steps. I'll leave the device alone for now, so I can basically reset it.
Yes. Now.
Okay. I don't actually record the old order. We'll start with the lucid red again, so left removal. Lurid. I don't care where the lucid comes from. Lucid dreaming. Lurid red. I think that's like blood red or intestinal red or something like that. Doesn't really matter. There's no other red like that. We have to I guess bright orange would be what we have to choose here now. Followed by... No, I don't actually recall what the fuck those colors are. What is this right? It's this weird type of orange. Substantially different. Unusual color is somewhat orange. I think... No, we have to choose this. Yeah, it has to go this way. Alternatively, you know... No, that's first. There's this could go wrong. I don't recall what the violet was. Some version of a violet. I want to make sure I've got the order right. What I'm going with. If this is wrong, we have a couple of alternative ways. Now it should be right turn. Hints of yellow. Now it has to be yellow. So bottom. Ooh. Shining yellow. Right. At the witch will go green, I suppose. Cool green. Which is brilliant blue. Right. So the rest. We have a violet, we have a deep violet hue, and indigo. I think indigo has to come now. Which means we're on the return phase. Yeah, it has to be indigo. So bottom. Then the prop, because it's the only thing left. And then the left. Sphere changes to an unusual color that's part violet and part something you have trouble discerning. Upon being placed back into the frame, the sphere trembles slightly and begins oscillating through the various colors over and over, faster and faster. When your eyes can barely keep up with the color shifts, a bright flash erupts from it, blinding you temporarily. When your vision returns, the sphere is gone, and in its place is an item of alien design. The beads of time never ending. Granted abilities, it's an artifact. Beads of time never ending confers hasten, plus 50% movement speed, plus 15% evasion, and plus 15% on attacks. This is incredibly powerful. This gorgeous artifact is made of several beads of various shapes, sizes, colors, and materials, all strung to a fine platinum chain. The individual beads shift constantly from one material form to another, spinning quickly around the chain. The artifact is light in your hand, nearly weightless. By rapidly spinning certain beads simultaneously, the device's temporal energy can be redirected into a target for a powerful restorative effect. This device was long held by a devoted nano who hoped his research would enable him to protect those he loved. His only definitive conclusion was that this type of charm would most likely have been worn around the ankle. This needs to be on a combat guide. Mobility, on the other hand, is very useful for my main character, because in fights you have to often use things. And the evasion would help there too to survive. The plus 15% attack would sort of go to waste, I think. I don't really have good attacks. It's an ornament, so it's basically everyone can use it. I'm not sure who should have it. Well, someone needs to have it. We have another ornament too, leading to attackers. You can take that, you're always getting attacked. It's worthless, but not totally worthless. I'm inclined to keep it on the main character unless I find an exact use for it. Okay, I forgot about the bronze spear. Might as well take a look at that too. The metallic edges of this engraved globe press into your palm. Interlocking spirals spin over its surface, pulling at your thoughts, at places in your mind. Before your eyes, segments of the spiral rise from the sphere with whispering clicks, forming detailed sigils. Buttons. Hold the orb to the light. Light is faintly visible through the curves of the orb's inner spirals, but only just. You see flickers of movement within. Mechanisms, perhaps. Okay, there's a cage, dagger, and a dagger sigil. Maybe the dagger would kill whatever inside, and the cage sigil would release it. I'll press the cage sigil. You press the cage sigil with your thumb and hear Aligern's voice in your head, as though from a great distance. Doesn't make sense, he mutters, accompanied by the clinking of tools. It's like this thing wants to be broken. Interesting. The sphere connects you to people you have met in the real world, and more than that, you sense at some instinctual level that it can transport them to you. If you call them while pressing the button, and they're willing to come. What is the dagger? That would be the assassin. You stab the button with a finger and hear someone growling under their breath in your head. It's Matkina. You recognize the swearing. So this will basically allow us to form groups as however we want. Interesting. Yeah, we need to get to the mind. I need to talk with Tranquility, let her put us in a trance. I wonder how many other things I could basically discover if I could if I would retrace my steps with our new abilities and items.
Yes.
I think I'll leave that to a later stage. We were supposed to leave the city already. Maybe when we get closer to the point where I can't get new quests here anymore, I'll retrace some of my steps, see if we can seek passage to the Valley of Dead Heroes. I'll retrace some of my steps, see if we can use our abilities and items to do more than we've done so far. Also,
yes,
Silver Orphans. Fearless drones. We discussed this before. Torment artifact. You can energize your attacks. I could take the shitty range weapon and use it as backup.
Rather fetching, don't you?
Of course.
I probably have to fight in the the soul fragments on my own anyway, so it's good that I have the hasting item. I need a trance. For a moment, Tranquility seems to consider, but then she shakes her head. No, as I said, I can't be sure of your safety. I need to waste intelligence on this? Isn't there an... well... I could do a suicide run. I'll waste my intelligence point. Ooh. Just give me a success. She hesitates, then nods. Very well. As long as you're willing to absolve me... Let's get me there. Joe, it doesn't cost me anything, but it costs me a little bit. I need to convince her again and again and again.
Yes. Let's go.
Right, it's a finger instead of a spyglass or looking glass.
I'll remember that.
The seal on the portal to the fathom where I met Kamos, Villain and Diabitiku has weakened. It should now be possible to open a way back there, but no doubt the sorrow fragment that sealed it in the first place still remains.
On it.
No doubt. I'm ready for it. Maybe. As you cross through the portal, you hear the ringing of synth plate being battered, followed by frantic shouts. Focus, villain. Keep the beast away from me. I need just a little more time. Do you think focus is my problem? This is a piece of the sorrow, not some broken hound. Kamo spots you over the writhing haunches of the monster. Brothers, calm yourself. Our friend is not lost as we feared. He will help. Strange, I saw it place a barrier against you mere seconds ago. You broke through so quickly. Shakes its head. No matter, I have an esotery that may banish this creature. I need a few moments longer to prepare it. Assist Kamos and Villain in defending me so I may do so. Oh, you know, he could help. How do we know if the ritual of yours will even work? Complete your esoteric Dibiatiku. I'll help them fight it out. As you say, if you have any knowledge in the Numenera, you might also assist me, speeding the process. Get over here if that is true, otherwise I will complete it myself. The sorrow fragment snarls at Villain, preparing another assault. The threat of violence triggers a reflex deep in your mind, and you subconsciously begin to summon reflections of your current companions. How exactly would this work? We can suppress them too. Why would you suppress them willingly though? Is there some kind of a danger in it? But I need to know. This might be a good situation to test things out. I mean, it's a huge amount of people versus a single sorrow fragment. So if there's something wrong, I'd rather find out in a situation like this than in maybe a little bit more serious situation. So allow the reflections to join.
This should be useful. My thanks.
But ooh, it has 99 hit points. It's pretty good. Protect Tiku until he completes the exaggerate vanished fragment. Focus in the speed process. Sorrow fragment. Health 99, armor 4, resistance 4, evasion 50%, willpower 40%, initiative -5, so it'll actually last. I think I could maybe debuff it. Sucker punch it. I'll be able to cause pain.
Of course.
Days. 5% chance of success. Right. I think I'm just basically blocking our last cast out's path here. Let the others be there. Yeah, I can't move there. Because, seriously, I must have had some ability activated. But I don't actually know what the thing does, so I think I'll wait a little bit. It does have armor resistance are the same. I could change myself to do energy damage, but I don't think it will make much of a difference. Yeah, I think I'll just see what happens first. You need to go talk.
All right.
His arms fold and extend in peaceful undulations as he drones a language you do not understand. Motes of light float around his hands. His eyes meet yours. It is a complex esotery I devised to protect against the sorrow. I regret I was never able to make it strong enough for that creature, but perhaps it will be able to aid us here. You watch his arcane gestures and listen carefully to his words. The ritual is vastly complex, but you begin to recognize a pattern within it. Diabetiku notices your attention. You understand? Perhaps you can assist. With two of us, we might complete the ritual more quickly. You can try to mirror his gestures or chant a complementary verse to amplify the esoteric. I can't do anything now though. Ooh. Stitch might be able to aid too. So move.
I feel better.
Charge up. That's not good. Compelled to attack the enemy who convert this fiddle if they are in charge. Sorrow fragment charge up. They're bringing with sorrow energy. Nothing in them changed. I think the shit is going to hit the fan. chance to hit is basically just terrible. Um, I don't know if I want to be anywhere near the fucker. It doesn't seem to be doing anything too dangerous. I can do damage to him, but the point, I think we're basically not going to succeed that, or rather, maybe it's a harder path. No, I think there's two paths. Either you beat the shit out of him or you complete that two paths. We've already committed to that. I'll let them deal with that. Also, I am a bit skeptical what's going to happen next, so let's leave them in charge and see what happens.
Something to do.
It's not weak to anything. I'll start doing trans-dimension damage.
Nothing can stop me now.
Complementary burst is something my skills are better at. Amplify the accessory. 25%, I think I'll go with 95. Listening to Divyatiku's incantation, you pick up the pattern of syllables he utters and devise a counter melody. The modes flash and shimmer as your voices coalesce.
Thank you, that sped up the process greatly. I'm afraid another burst would create too much energy for me to conduct though.
I still have my movement. Don't think I can do anything really useful. Ooh, this. Ooh, you need to actually use this. It has 2 uses per crisis. Okay. Consumes movement. 1 ally. You don't have to use them yourself. Okay, excellent. It's not critically useful for us now. I want to take a little bit of distance to that. It's charging up for some kind of specialty attack. I'm pretty sure it's gonna hurt.
I'm going.
I don't want to be the target of it.
It's working. The fragment's tether is weakening.
What the fuck are you talking about? Quick finger as perception. Just make it happen. Your arms swim through the air, matching the nano's movements. The modes of light form an arabesque connecting you, glowing brighter than before.
Elegant. This accessory, is it not? Together we can complete it more quickly. But return your attention to the fight for now. I will continue until we have succeeded.
Yeah, just pull away for now. I guess it's all about killing. Maybe it'll just drop his defenses to nothing or something.
Naturally.
18 points of some type of damage. Okay. It's pretty bad, but I was actually expecting worse. They won't survive another one like that. Divyatiku might be able to end it right now. Now I'm not sure, should I attack or what? Is he going to end the fight or not? I'm basically just thinking, am I wasting my points? Of course I can attack without any extra points put into those attacks.
All right. Barely making a scratch.
Yeah, that seems like a decent thing to do. There's no investment involved. I guess still do something besides just sitting doing nothing. I'm thinking of healing the 2 wounded guys. I have to start healing now, otherwise I can't do it. Allies in immediate area. Protection. I could protect those. I'll do that.
Ready.
Just in case.
Never felt better
It's
than
not
I
a
do
huge
right
investment
now.
in points. Also only affects my guys, not the allies. For a crisis use, as well use this. Although I don't know what's the point. Doesn't really. It's more of a defensive aid, and yep. It seems like he uses his sorrow abilities.
I'm ready to learn something
Right.
new.
So either fight or cast a spell. With the fragment of the sorrow gone, you feel new connections being made in your mind, it's as though the sorrow itself were keeping you from your full potential. Oh, well done. We are in your debt multiple times now.
In his deck, it's his fault we're trapped here in the first place by my account.
He stops and stares at his hands. They're transparent and becoming more so.
Hey, what's going on? Intriguing.
Ibiatiku looks at his hands and feet, which are fading in the same way.
We are no longer tied to this place. Our consciousnesses are finding a more suitable location. What does that mean? Are we dying? Are we free?
Neither, I think. You can see through his head and chest.
It means this part of the mental construct is not ours, not truly. We are being drawn to some place that is.
Kamos places a hand on your shoulder. It feels solid, though you can hardly see it anymore. Farewell, friend brother. I don't know if we'll meet again, but until... And they're gone. You are alone.
Yes.
But I don't see any negatives in trying to summon your allies here. If there is, I don't see what it would be. But it seems like it's a meaningful choice too. Otherwise, why even have
Making a
the
note.
choice? The Spectre looks worriedly at a different corner of the calm. A new portal has appeared where there was only empty space before.
They're in there.
He says anxiously.
Even the first fragment opened up the way, but there are a lot of them in there. I can feel them. They're feeding on your mind.
He gives you a nervous smile.
It's probably better to get rid of them, but I don't know if you can. You'll have to be strong. Stronger than you are now, I bet.
Yeah, 99 hit points is a pretty tall order, and they have quite a lot of defenses. So I don't know if he's wrong. I'm still going to take a look. I need to know what exactly what exactly are the requirements I need to have so I can deal with them. That way I know when I'm ready. Well, I did get a level up.
Yes.
What are we going to level up? I'm happy with the stat pool. We could get more, but that's okay. Maybe increase edge. That's not a bad idea. What about ability or skill? Concentration, lore, perception. I sort of want the perception because unlocks conversation options. What about the ability? I don't give two shits about those. So increase edge would be actually very good. At the same time, you can use items or rest, so it's not that big of a deal. At least not in any encounter so far. So I want the skill. I want the perception because it opens up dialogue options. It's fairly important to me. I want to see that whatever I'm seeing, whatever my options are, I see all of them. So, perception it is. Maybe not the best choice, but you don't know that until you've taken
Yes.
it. That's more or less my point. I want to miss as little as possible.
All right.
Okay, say, how bad is this? Talk to your companions frequently. They can yield interesting ideas or new perspective of Torment objects.
I'll remember that.
As your body pours from the portal, an ad hoc laboratory comes into view. Irregular catwalks connect several platforms, each littered with dusty machines, tools, and displays. In the center of each platform stands a strong glass tank glowing like the orbs from the dark fathom you were born in. You have a feeling that, like the orbs, those tanks contain your memories. Each tank is connected to a machine on the same platform. Caustic black ichor sputters from all but the nearest of the glowing tanks, keeping you from seeing or even feeling what lies inside. The oily film on the nearest machine pauses, almost as if it has noticed your presence. It begins to drain from the device. As the black sludge coalesces, you recognize it as a fragment of the sorrow, stronger from feeding on your subconscious all this time. Because the fragments have been feeding on your tidal energy, I really wish someone would explain the tidal shit. You sense that I thought initially that it's basically the alignment system of this game, sort of. So basically, it'll tell you what type of a character you've been. Blue was some kind of a scholar. Silver was some kind of like fame related to something like that, prestige. Gold was if you help others. Red was, I think, passion, more or less. Was that it? And indigo was justice or something like that. So I thought that's basically your alignment system, but it's clearly something more. And it's also in the heights of Numenera. So it's in the title of the game, so it has to have a deeper purpose. But no one seems to be... Everyone seems to be sort of just being aware of it, but no one is willing to really explain what the fuck does it actually do. Because the fragments have been feeding on your tidal energy, you sense that they are bound to you, at least for now. You may be able to use the machines in this place to manipulate them. A mental reflex twitches, a subconscious response to the perceived threat. Yeah, we definitely want it here. Suppress the reflection and confront the creature's bone. I wonder what that... Why would you do that? What would that mean? But, I don't think I can do it on my own.
This should be useful. My thanks.
Fast. Trap or kill the sorrow fragments infesting the fathom. Use the lab machines to attract and ensnare the creatures. 2 sorrow fragments remaining. Okay. There's a sorrow fragment. Suppose this is another. The memories the machine tries to summon darken and tear, disrupted by the sorrow fragment in the device. It's here too. These look remarkably like the resonance chamber. This laboratory must have been constructed from memories of your sire's first experiments with it. Oh, it's a much weaker one. It has good armor, good resistance, good evasion, good willpower, terrible initiative, decent health. But health is not that much higher than what our fighter has, so I think our group will take it down. However, machines can control it somehow. We basically need to... What is this? There are tubes and machines. This machine interface is lit and ready for operation. Arcs of pure energy twist from here to the platform below. Dust and small particles are sucked in one end and emerge from that. So it's transport system. Yeah, I don't exactly get what I'm supposed to do here, but I need to know what the fuck this machine does, that's for certain. Judging by the images and information glitting across the display, it is some sort of control mechanism for the tank on this platform. Pictograms flicker across the flat surface on the device, information and options changing before your eyes. It's responding to your thoughts as you seek a way to dispatch the sorrow fragments. Begin charging a tidal pulse to paralyze nearby fragments, cause energy to leak from the tank attracting fragments. Maybe the leak would be similar to like with the insectoid creatures. So we need to get it too close to the tank. I'm assuming the area here shown is actually its effect range. So we need to get it within that range and use the paralyzing pulse. Alternatively, we need to just beat the shit out of them. I think the paralyzing pulse is probably a better option. Okay, but Tibeer has a few abilities that would be able to move him or attract him. He has the challenge and the hook ability. Also move these guys closer to this, maybe he'll attack us. Out of curiosity, I noticed some kind of a notice when the fight started. Not sure what it was. Yeah, they're not the same people. They're reflections. They have their basic gear, but they have nothing else. They can't use ciphers basically here. Not that it'll make much of a difference, but it's a good thing to know.
I'm going.
Look out, villains! Trouble coming your way.
See what happens. I'm assuming he's going to basically come up to us and try charging himself up again. Might as well shoot, it's not out of range. Really a short range weapon. Yeah, charge up. No, it attacks and Viscera Soul. It's charging up. It did something to us. This consumes movement. All consume movement. Shit. That's an issue of challenge though. 5% chance of success. I think the creatures within the area anyway. Problem is, it's going to do a lot of damage to us.
Sure enough. Never felt better than I do right now.
one of you suckers actually has to use this device. Paralyze. The roiling energies in the tank begin to slow and move in unison, coalescing into a visibly ordered pattern as the machine indicates a buildup of energy. It indicates that a paralyzing pulse will detonate before your next action. So it's tied to me. Yeah, defend yourselves.
That's the stuff.
And if he's going to explode, I don't want to be anywhere near him.
Yes.
I just want to be sure that if he attacks us, he's still within the blue area here. Okay, he does about 10 to 12 points of damage with attacks. Oh, he's out of the fight entirely.
I'm ready. I'm over.
I'm assuming we need to go here to get to the other sorrow. I'll heal before we go. I don't want anyone to be in a bad shape here. They have to at least survive, easily survive one of their hits, preferably two. I don't see any reason to use a spray flash here though. He has the abilities to... yeah, we can easily lure him here if we need to, so you just stay there and do nothing. Actually do something. I want to make sure he's within range right now. Iridius is one of the fastest one of us, so he'll start the machine. On the next turn. He needs to be healed. Everyone to move close here, so if they don't attack him, they'll still be within range of the pulse.
Never get enough of that.
Even Calistich, everyone needs to be here.
We shall see.
No, they did less damage than I thought. We basically just have to buy time here. Make sure he's... I don't think I need to use that. I need to waste my stats full, so no reason to do it. Yeah, paralyzing pulse on our next action. But now we just need to make sure he's gonna stay within the area of effect. As far as I can see, we probably shouldn't do anything. Just we wait. We can do some damage, but not enough for it to matter. Okay, so this will last more easier than the Spectre led us to believe. With the last of the sorrow fragments neutralized, you feel a cool breeze flow through you, mind and body. Your muscles tense with dexterity and strength you haven't felt before, and your mind flows gracefully from thought to thought, exploring possibilities and sensations more quickly than ever before. Gradually, you become aware of a shadow in your mind. The sorrow still has one stronghold somewhere in the labyrinth. You've almost driven it out entirely, but not yet. Uh, okay. What else can we do here? Can I do something with
Ready.
B? The machine no longer functions. All of its energy seems to have gone toward the poles that affect this platform. Fair enough.
Yes.
As you inspect this device, you feel a rippling through your mind, bringing up a blur of unbidden images. One of them in particular demands your attention, tugging insistently at a buried memory. You enter the tavern and every face turns to you. The warm susurrus of conversation trails off. They know you and they know what you come here for. The Aldea of Thaul supports the nearby claim, and the locals keep a chary eye on the Aeon priests. They know the dangers of the Numenera the scientists unearthed, and given their proximity to the endless battle, they know what your tattoo means. You hear the sharp whisper, "Cast up, scum!" You don't give them the satisfaction of looking. But you can feel the tension in the room as you make your way up to the bar. The tavern keeper won't meet your eye. You know what comes next. You sigh and turn to face the room. A large burly woman stands in front of you. "You're not welcome here, cast-off. Your damn war is a bane. We'll have no cast-offs here. Not anymore. Get out, or by the gods we'll make you wish you had." You feel energies building and swirling within you. Your smile is savage as you weave a net of the tides. You have no idea who you're talking to. I'm no cast-off. I am their creator. I'm the author of the endless battle. I am the changing god, and you will revere me. You hold your hands wide and the tides spill from you. Half of the villagers fall to their knees, weeping as your will twists their hatred into adoration. The burly woman yanks a knife from her belt. "You'll not take my mind, monster!" Her neighbors fall on her before she can take another step, knives flashing. Her light spills across the floor, around your feet. You step through it, trailing bloody footprints to the floor, and you're not sure if the disgust you feel is for the dead woman or for yourself. Yeah, that's the tides I was talking about, and the reason I want more. It is so clearly tied to what this game is about, and I really have no
Of
control
course.
over it. Don't really even understand it.
Yes.
Do all of these have a
Now.
story? Maybe these have energy. We didn't use pulses. No, it's
I'm
I
ready.
thought there might be a benefit to not using the pulses at all. Apparently not. A low aromatic fog surrounds this device, and every whiff of the vapor conjures up a memory from deep within you. The cheering throng that spreads before you across Government Square has a voice like thunder, rolling and booming through the city. The people in it are victims, survivors, victors, and the last of their enemies kneels before you on the broad steps. You hold your hands aloft for silence. The thunder subsides to a low murmur and becomes a quiet, hungry wait. They want to see vengeance. And so do you. Oh, the ache is so strong. Ogesti Tel Kotu, Orphan Maker, Hope Smasher. crowd seethes at these titles.
Today is the day of your judgment. Today is the day that above to pay in full for the crimes against our citizens, against humanity everywhere. Today sees an end at last to the above.
The crowd erupts in frenzied joy. You lean forward and whisper in his ears,
You have two choices, a quick death or an immortality for which you sacrifice your ambition and your freedom.
The Tabath stares at you, his strange eyes wide.
Why?
Because one choice will end your subjugation, here, now, cleanly. The other will give you immortality, but by imprisoning you in time. But consider, one day I might die, and on that day you'll still be here. I'm giving you a gift. If you can master it, a victory, but only if you can learn the deadly art of patience. Tabath scowls, sensing some trick. You touch him with your mind to shove him over the edge of desire. He winces as the ripple of your psyche washes over him. He rumbles.
Death holds no fear, but I will tell the future how I bested you.
You smile as you turn away, signaling for the machines that will enslave him to your will, and you pause. He was a notable foe. Perhaps he deserved better than to be a permanent marker to your triumph. You owed him the right to make his own choice, you think. Then you remember the faces of the sickened and dying. You inject him yourself.
All right.
This little device issues a series of ticks and clicks. Allow the memory to come. You are lost in the scent of her hair, the taste of her mouth, the feel of her skin. You stumble against the door and fumble with the lock, unwilling to break contact with this remarkable, beautiful, wonderful woman. Even before you manage to wrestle the door open, you are already shrugging out of your clothes. Once inside, the rest of your clothes disappear as if by magic. The city outside is noisy, but you can't hear the din of the market as you focus on her breath, her eyes, her body, and the day vanishes like your clothes. Eventually, hours later, night falls, and the two of you collapse onto the ruined bed. She drifts off to sleep, whispering in your ear of what you could accomplish together. As her contented breathing warms your chest, you reflect. You never expected Sally Mary to be like this when you sought her out. You intended only to take advantage of her position and her expertise, but she has become so much more in such a short time. She makes you reconsider everything you've been striving toward for all these years. Gods, you don't remember feeling love like this for anyone since... No. No. Another memory swells and it reminds you of your goal. What you want in this moment can't distract you from the centuries you've spent building this life. You stroke Sally Mary's hair, and the tides trickle from you into her dreams. You break her love for you, turning it back to the work you discussed. You refocus her mind and rebuild her affection. You don't want to lose this, but you can't cast off your ambition. You lie in bed, waiting for her to wake, for the work to start again. Single tear wells in your eye. You dash it away. Right. I like these because there's a lot of stories about the changing god, but these are actually what
All
he
right.
went through. And I suppose the memories all seem to represent the tides that they're supposed to represent. So or he is part of all of the tides.
Let's go.
And every story is about how he used the tides, basically to change others, manipulate things.
I'm going.
You're watching a display cast through crystal prisms. Images and the colors are a jagged rainbow, just as they have been in every previous iteration of this machine, when they should be a single glowing picture, at least if this device is to function as intended. You hiss through your teeth in frustration. How many years must you waste in trying to align these energies? Is this effort fruitless? Turn it off, you snarl. Your apprentice pays you no heed. A moment longer. Just a moment. He is kneeling before the control panel and he reaches in to make a slight adjustment. Above him, the images and the colors align. He sits back on his haunches, an enormous grin wreathing his face. I knew it. I could hear it whispering to me. It's like it wants to be done. This is my masterpiece. Now, what's the next step? You're not sure if your cast-up prodigy is talking to you or the machine. You stare at the back of his head. He's undeniably gifted. In this aspect, you have to admit he even surpasses you. This is, after all, part of why you constructed his body the way you did. But now that he's achieved this, do you dare to let him return to the world? He knows your deepest secret now, and holds your future in his hands. But you feel a certain affection for him. To kill him would be poor thanks indeed. Instead, you speak. Maza, you whisper. He turns around, and the instant he makes eye contact, the full force of your psychic power crashes through his meager defenses. You insinuate yourself into his memories and erase the details of last year of work. It's a crude tool, a bludgeon, but you tell yourself that it's kinder than destroying him. You almost believe it.
On it.
What exactly am I now? Yeah, ooh. Wisdom, reason, enlightenment.
Ready.
You have been walking under the wasted sun for what feels like days. The sun does not move on the horizon, and its incessant heat has scoured the plane of light. Your water is running low and you are seriously considering abandoning this body. And then you see shapes shimmering on the horizon. You realize an eye catcher. It will tell you if this is a mirage or a destination. It shoots into the sky, vanishing from sight. It returns with good news. You've discovered an oasis. Of sorts. You trudge onward, bitterly wishing for better boots. When at last you reach the rude collection of wattle and daub huts, primitive humans gathering around you, beseeching you in a strange tongue. They offer you some of their precious remaining water, and you settle down to learn the basics of their language. After a day, you know enough to understand the depth of their plight. They say the lurker in the cave has stolen the sun's momentum. They beg for your aid. After a fitful nap, you begin the perilous climb to the cave. Inside, a long-forgotten installation houses a trapped construct. It speaks through the scree of a fallen ceiling, and it tells you that it has demanded the autochthons clear the rubble. When they refused to dig it free so that it could return to its work, it sealed the plane inside a time bubble. They will come through reason, it concludes. You don't have time for this. The construct's needs are paltry compared to the need for water. You concentrate, marshalling your powers. The tides you have been researching. You imagine them as a blade, and you hurl them against the construct's circuitry. The machine struggles, throwing up defenses against you, but it is no match for this new energy. It fizzles and dies, and you feel a wrench as time lurches back into motion. You look at your hands. The flesh hangs loose on your suddenly skeletal frame. The steep price to protect these villagers. So is there a consequence to using your tides? I mean, I can't just abandon this body if shit comes my way. So it's convenient power, but it
Ready.
comes with a long-term cost.
All right.
Can I get access to the final stronghold of the sorrow? I would imagine the chamber is tied to that. Maybe getting rid of it permanently.
You did it. This whole place feels, I don't know, brighter now. But don't get cocky. Sorrow can still kill you well and good in the real world. Fight Mazza before that happens.
Yeah. Mazza, the guy you erased his memory. How can he help build whatever we're building if he's being memory wiped? Maybe we'll have to do the same thing we did to the assassin. Get his mirror caster and alter things so he'll return, his memory will return. Okay, I believe we basically have at least a way, even if the worst has happened and he's totally worthless. We still would have a way to get something out of him. And it didn't seem like it was what they were working on was necessarily the resonance chamber, so he could still have knowledge about that. But I feel it's not the end of our search. He probably doesn't know what it's for or how it works. Probably can't even repair it, at least until we do something about his memory. Okay. Anything new happen? Clock fathom. Sorrow's fathom. I wonder why these fathom remains. Shrug?
Let's go.
By the way, I'll return to the real world, see if anyone else has gotten any level ups.
Ready.
I need to do something else.
Thank you.
I think this was more or less our plan from the start. Actually, we'll have to start collecting new quests. I need to give thought about buying new weapons too. I'd like to have I would like to have a range weapon with most people. I can also sell the healing sword, really. It's a much better sword. Why am I not using it? Yeah, this is a problem. I should have been paying more attention to this shit. These six-fingered gloves are completely and utterly achromatic. Achromatic. Their singular lack of color is nearly hypnotic. Okay. When you insert this set of plugs into your ears, you can suddenly hear through the ears of another being. Pulling out the earplugs and reinserting them into your ear links you to a different individual. Overheard speech seems to be completely incomprehensible and alien each time, so the target individuals are probably distant in space or time, or both. So these are oddities, totally worthless, but I sort of have a feeling that oddities could be useful. I mean, this was an oddity. The chroma volume. So, am I doing myself harm if I just dump them and sell them? I have 700 shins, so I can afford to buy a lot of crap currently. I don't recall anything particularly useful. A couple of ciphers, good recovery ciphers. They weren't that expensive either. We could also buy some healing items. I have 4-man group left, and I can heal 6 hit points. One in a turn. That's nothing. That's absolutely nothing. There were good ciphers like that healed like 20 points in every thing. I would switch one of our party members for a proper healer at this one, but I don't know if there is a proper healer, because there is a heal skill, I'm sure of that, but no one has that. More importantly, I'm the only one with any kind of a heal ability, so everyone else would just be relying on items. I do need to use the items, but I'd like someone to have heal. I really would. I'm not getting rid of Heritage no matter what, but Calistich and Tiber maybe. I need to talk to alright, I'll end things here, but I want to talk to my companions before that. Maybe something has happened with them. Calistich has had the book for some time, or the journal. Maybe she's found out something. Can you tell me anything about the Endless Gate? Only that it's at the heart of the beliefs of the children, whether they were ever able to open such a gate or not. Calistich maintains a solemn expression, but the echoes behind her laugh and full faces. He follows your gaze and frowns. At least I retain an open mind toward the myriad possibilities this world may provide. Okay. Do you know anything about the children of the Endless Gate? Scant little, I'm afraid. I've only heard that they're a splinter segment of the Dendra, who have sworn war on their compatriots, preferring to make corpses rather than preserving the memories of those who die by other means. I spoke with one once, but she was less than forthcoming with the revelations provided by her faith. Many would cast them as incurably mad, but that is simply a matter of perspective. Yeah, they're perspectively mad, from my perspective. Anything new? How are you feeling? I adore you. I can't say it more simply. Yay, I've been adored. One of the people we're traveling with? What do you think of Eritis? Have you noticed that glowing cloud that surrounds him? No. I'm convinced it hides something. I would examine it more closely if he would let me, but then I suppose I would have to listen to him blather as I did so. Yes, what? Eritis says, jolting out of his wide-eyed examination of the sky. I heard you say blathering. Are you talking about me again? You are never far from our thoughts, dear, believe me. What about Tiber? The man is made of tall tales. I fear we shall never truly know him, though his armor wounds him more than us. I'm standing right here, you know. Were you? None of us noticed. Right. I don't expect a long chat session here, but I want to see what everyone has to say about this.
Thanks for taking me on, lad. Always good to have a friend watching your back, huh? Now, what can I do for you?
How are you holding up? I'm fine, lad. I just hope you won't regret our friendship when the time comes to part ways. Yeah, we know that he's lying about something. I would hazard a guess it's true. It's tied to his wars. Probably the Endless Battle, because the Endless Battle is about the cast-offs and the Changing God. So that would explain his tie to us. So either he did something really shitty or something like that, and he maybe not just walked away from it. Maybe a lot of bad blood there that's going to come as bite us in the ass in the future. What's your opinion about our traveling compatriots? Calistich? I met her once before she diversified. Lovely woman, but I'm not sure if more is better in this case. Well, do inform us when you reach a conclusion, darling. My sisters and I yearn for the opinions of aging criminals.
Depend on it, dear lady. There it is. Isn't he a treasure? Do anything for you, he would. Do anything for anybody if you made him think it was exciting enough. Are you talking about me? I heard you say exciting. I never stopped talking about you, lad, he says, winking at you. How could I? Right. I don't have a lot of confidence in Eridus being able to contribute useful things. How are things between us? Great, he declares, throwing his hands in the air. I knew we had the same instinct for adventure. He blinks. Right. What's your opinion about our traveling companions? Oh, I like them. They keep things from getting too quiet or thoughtful. They get in the way of mirrors. I appreciate that. He blinks several times. Oh, you want more specific details? Who about? You mentioned that you don't like mirrors. Why is that? I did, he says, blinking. What a strange thing to say. Who doesn't like mirrors? I certainly don't. Wait. He frowns. It's called an aura phase until it's almost isn't there. I like mirrors, he says finally. I have no problems with them. Let's talk about something else. Right. Helisage. She's really smart, Eridus says, ticking his fingers. Beautiful, interesting too, and there's so many of her. He hesitates. I don't understand a lot of what she says though. Dearest, that might just be because you have no grasp of what when you're being insulted. Might be, Eridus says cheerfully. Highbeard. He's such a nice man. Before we met, I had too much money to spend. Now I barely have any at all. Leisure pockets make a happy lad, Highbeard says, jingling a little. He told me that's one of his famous sayings. Eridus whispers, delighted. Like, yeah, there's something wrong with you. Either way, I'll end things here. What's the situation? Beloved slave and shaky foundations. Yeah, the stitch up. Ah, shit. I'm not sure if there's any danger in us not trying to solve this soon. There's at least we can try to use the ties to affect the stitch up. I don't have such a skill though. I have no idea where you're supposed to get it. Is it an actual skill? It's an actual skill. That's how it was presented, definitely. Like with a training level requirement for you to use it. So it is literally a skill. If it's here, you also must get it from this section of the game, though. I mean, otherwise it would be totally pointless to even make the option with the stitch up. But someone here must know how to utilize the ties, and I don't. Is it the assassin? I didn't get any impression about that from her, but it may be that's potentially. It's certainly a potential. Free of sorrow's influence in your mind, you gain +1 might, speed, and intellect. That's nice. Anyway, we have other things. I haven't even tried to get new quests in a long time. So, yeah, I haven't even explored these, so I'm sure we have other options. So should I go after the slave or Stitcha or try to find new things to do? I can't do the shaky foundations now other than by stealing the eggs, and I don't want that, especially when I know that there's another option for me that would allow me to learn their language. That could be very useful. So I would definitely want that. I think I'll... where is this? Cliff's Edge. I think I'll go back to getting new quests. We'll go after
we'll go to the cliff's edge. We'll do this. Collect new quests. See where we go from there.